Hey guys, welcome back. Second broadcast of the day, okay? Second broadcast of the weekly. This is the weekly number 50. All right, so I'm going to continue with some things. We just talked about the Joker, but now I'm kind of switching gears here. We're going to a movie that's coming out, and technically it's actually out now in early access. Beetlejuice. Guys, let's talk about the budget for this film. So I'm getting two different pieces of information about this film. Last night, I got a source that told me that the budget was $65 to $75 million. Thought that was a very good budget for Beetlejuice. That's kind of where I surmised that the budget would land. But on Wikipedia, and that's not always a great source for information, but they're saying that it's $100 million. I don't know if Wikipedia is factoring in marketing budget. Not 100% sure on that, but Wikipedia is saying that this budget is $100 million. So once again, that's not too bad. It's kind of expected for it to kind of get that high, although I do think that this budget is still tame for this production. I think this movie's going to do very well. I've been looking at a lot of the seating charts for this weekend, guys. A lot of the theaters are packed. I think people are very excited for this movie. Now, we'll see if this movie has legs. Remember, guys, if you want a movie to hit blockbuster territory, which I say is about 4X, you need to have people rewatching the movie, and you need to have good word of mouth. Rotten Tomatoes right now, I believe, has this movie at between a 78% and an 80%. Let me check right now. I do think overall that this Beetlejuice movie is going to do well simply because it's a movie, right? It's not going to be pushing any political agendas. It's not going to be offending anybody. It's going to be a fun time at the theater. With that being said, I think the movie is going to do well. Also, Beetlejuice does have a fan base. As you guys know, the first Beetlejuice came out over 30 years ago, so they're kind of now just following up on that film, which we talked about on the podcast before, that there's a big gap in between 1 and 2, and so they're kind of working with that. But I also think that's going to benefit Beetlejuice. I think Beetlejuice is kind of in a category of its own. There are some films that can take a hiatus like that and still have a strong fan base that will come out and support a sequel whenever they decide to put out a sequel. Also, another good thing about Beetlejuice is the fact that they're bringing in new cast members, one that people actually like, i.e. Jenna Ortega, right? And then they're also bringing back all the old cast members. So I think that's really awesome too. Overall, the cast is pretty good. Obviously, you got Michael Keaton back as Beetlejuice. Like I said, Jenna Ortega is in there. I think Willem Dafoe is in the film. Monica Bellucci is in the film. So right now, yes, Rotten Tomatoes has this movie at certified fresh 78%. Once again, it's a score that I expected, right? It's not going to be an Academy Award winning movie, but it's going to be a movie that people are going to like. I think this movie is going to do well just based off what I've seen and heard so far. So yeah, Tim Burton, obviously the creator and the director. Michael Keaton back as Beetlejuice. Winona Ryder back as Lydia, right? Catherine O'Hara, Delia, Jenna Ortega, Astrid, right? So we got most of the main cast back with some new people in there, and people that, I would say that the mainstream audience likes, doesn't have a beef with. I think this movie is going to do very well. I want to say, when I was looking at early access seating, guys, I want to say about 90% of the theater was full on both showings at 7 p.m. and 9:45 p.m. That's pretty good, seeing as how this movie does not officially release until September 6th. So I think this weekend is going to be a very big weekend for Beetlejuice. I'm expecting this movie to do $100 million this weekend. I think it will get its production budget right back this weekend. Whether or not it has legs and continues to, double or 3x the returns on its investment, we'll see. It depends on if the movie's that good. I do think this movie does have the potential to get to $300 million, $400 million potentially. We will see what happens. I want to see what the audience score is. I think we'll be able to get some audience scores within the next 24 to 48 hours on this film, and I'll probably be reporting on that as well. Also, we're going to be talking about Beetlejuice in depth on the Popcorn Square podcast, so guys, stay tuned for that. But if you guys did not know, the sequel to the first Beetlejuice is due out this weekend. Beetlejuice will be in theaters this weekend. Let me know in the comments if you guys are interested. Let me know in the comments if you guys are going to actually go watch the movie. Want to hear what you think about this? I want to hear what you think about the budget too. I think the budget is tame. We talked about this before, guys, especially when it comes to the business of cinema. When you have a tame budget, it's a lot easier to recoup your investment back and make money on it. When you have $200-300 million bloated budgets, it's extremely hard to make money. Think about it. You have a movie, like I say, so my threshold is 3x, right? So let's say you have a movie that's $300 million, right? For me, that movie needs to do upwards of $900 million to $1 billion to break even. That's a lot different from a budget of $100 million for a film, and the film only needs to make $350 million. It's a lot easier to make that $350 million on that smaller budget, especially when you're doing a film like Beetlejuice, which has a following. So with that being said, that just kind of puts things in perspective on how you look at the business of cinema. Keep those budgets down, maximize your fan base, make a movie that people want to see, select a great date to release the movie. Make sure there's not a lot of competition when you're trying to release, and your film should do well. We talked about this with Alien Romulus, 3.5x, almost blockbuster territory. Will it get to 320? Don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it does. And Beetlejuice is right up there. Not a lot of competition against this Beetlejuice film. $100 million budget. I think it makes $300 to $400 million if it does have legs. The next thing that's coming out is Speak No Evil. Personally, I don't think that's going to be able to compete with Beetlejuice on a mainstream level, honestly. So, like I said, Beetlejuice, I think will do well. Anyway, with that being said, like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell for notifications. Let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know if you're going to watch Beetlejuice. And as always, be safe.